Oh, thank God you found us. And this is Can We Chat? This podcast is made possible by LAX Ammunition, Southern California's largest ammo retailer with stores in Inglewood, Huntington Beach, and San Diego. Responsible practice at an economical rate without giving up quality and safety. What's up? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and inform you of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. A very happy Independence Day to all. Back with us again is my fellow teammate and your very own Viking, Anthony Vega. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? It's been a little bit since we've done this. Nice Independence Day. Got to celebrate the birth of America.
I would give you a hug, but, we have to be professional about this, right?
I mean, slightly professional. I mean, we're not completely professional, but professional enough to keep it clean.
Absolutely.
A little G-rated, maybe PG-13 a little bit.
Absolutely. I took a vacation, so I was out of town. I was in a dead zone, so I didn't have any electronics up there.
I'm assuming it was kind of nice to get away from a little bit, not have all the chaotic messages and.
Oh man! But when I came down that hill,
all of a sudden just blew up, and it was like a volcano of information.
My phone got a little warm, and
it just said, "Nope, not doing this."
Oh, I wanted to get a podcast going prior to me leaving, but that didn't work out. So
with scheduling conflicts and everything else, everybody has a lot on their plate, but when you're starting to try to do something like this on top of everything that's on the plate, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
No, absolutely not. But we had a local match at Prado.
We did.
And that was pretty exciting.
It was very exciting and a little bit warm. We haven't had an official start to summer, and I think that just broke us in and just
tensions were high, and it was really warm. And but it was funny because there were a lot of people that showed up early. We got it together. It was done before 7:00.
That's shocking. It usually is 8:45, and you're still stapling targets to sticks and everything else.
I looked up and I went, oh man! So I couldn't have been more prouder of the staff that showed up early for that match. That really went well.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that even though I wasn't there, that people actually are starting to come around and go, hey, you know what? This won't be a match if I don't actually come out and lend a hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the volunteers, we can't do anything without them.
Yeah.
So, but congratulations, by the way. You tend to have killed all the bug guys.
Well, like I said, you bring out the best in me.
Oh my gosh! I sat there and you were gone. So this was his stage 7. It was our second stage, and he just came out blazing. That was impressive, especially the last 3 targets. What was that all about?
I haven't shot a match since the Western Regional.
So you went 0 down on that stage, by the way. Yeah. You had a 1.45 initial draw to engagement on your first shot. It was just from cover. Yeah. And then you just kept on going. You had 1 fumble of your first reload.
Yeah, slight fumble.
Your reload going to the last array was faster than that.
Yeah, it felt good. Then, sometimes it's just nice to, when you have that long of a break, just forget about it, go out and have fun, and see what you can do. And I mean, it worked out great.
Yeah. So the last 3 arrays, you went just nuts on that. That your bug gun went auto.
Pretty close. I mean, like I said, when I saw that array, I'm like, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's see what we can do. And it was either 0 or hero, so I went for it. And
I would have to say that the gun itself is now comfortable and working for you.
It's a dream come true with that. For shooting bug, I don't think there's a better bug gun out there.
That setup,
yeah, that setup for me just absolutely works.
And I know you're really picky because
I am pretty picky.
Yeah, you changed it 4 or 5 times before.
Yeah, it's been multiple changes throughout its lifespan and different grip modules, trying this, trying that.
Yeah.
Kind of see what worked, what didn't work for me. Just because, like I said, my setup might not work for everybody else.
Right.
But for me, that gun is dialed completely.
Oh man, because that was like pulling teeth, right? I mean, you had problems with reloading.
Oh yeah, zip ties.
Yeah. Okay. Aside from the zip tie things, I mean, now it's fully comfortable. You're going at it. You're actually picking up a lot of speed. I've noticed.
Well, that and starting to learn it, like getting a gun and just jumping into something.
Yeah.
By a dare, it just you're like, all right, well, let's see what happens. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah.
And of course, me and my challenges that I end up having to go through, and the waking nights of hearing Paul's voice go, what do you think about this?
Oh my God, come on.
So yeah, it keeps me up at night sometimes, but you know what? It's the thing that I love to do.
Well, it's definitely impressive. The gun that you have now, what changes have you made? That's been
so this is actually a whole new gun.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well let's talk about that a little bit later. But the ammo that you're using, you're still reloading and so forth.
Still reloading.
Okay.
Still auto decapping. Still doing the whole process. Still running the same exact loads that I run in the Staccato. Megan runs her SSP, Dan runs in his ESP.
That's running flawless. Yeah.
It's working great. I think I had one ammo hiccup on one of the stages with the new gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, could it be the gun shooting itself? I've never basically pulled it out, shot it, never zeroed anything, never did anything with it, never tested it, and just went, all right, well, hey, let's go ahead and try this.
You love doing that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why not add a little bit more challenge to a little more spice in your life?
Right. So recently you picked up a job. You're helping out the boys over at LAX now, Orange County. Yeah.
It's great.
Well, I mean, we couldn't ask for more, right?
Yeah. I mean, how could you not love working in an ammo store, being a competitive shooter? I mean, that is just like, a gift from the heavens, the shooting gods.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but besides that, you're really good friends with them, and you got to lend a hand when you can, right?
That is just a great crew over there.
I'm sure.
Very knowledgeable, and then being able to talk to people that have a lot different knowledge base as well. They've been also reloading longer than I have, which I've been reloading for years.
Yeah.
But between me and Keith and Holden and Calder and everybody else that have been in this gun industry and ammo industry for years, we bring so much knowledge and bounce ideas and everything else off each other. It's just a great atmosphere.
So if you guys are just getting into the reloading part, or you just have questions about ammo, I mean, that's the place to go. LAX, Orange County. We have our very own Vikings that's behind the counter there. That's
the golden curtain.
The golden curtain. Yeah. So, but that's which leads us to our topic here. AB Assembly Bill 28 went into effect January 1st,
it did.
right? So that went into law on 9/26/20 of last year. So the Governor Newsom actually signed that thing.
We knew that he was going to sign that right away.
Well, I mean, that's to help bring in income to the what is it now? ATF now? They keep on switching ATF to IRS type of thing, right? So
whoever it is now, basically it's something to promote more gun advocacy, whether it be a positive spin or bad spin. Obviously, for shooters, most likely it's not going to rule in our favor, and that money is not going to go into our favor.
But it all goes into a escrow account, right? And they can do whatever they want to it,
whatever they so choose. So
and
it's
it doesn't necessarily have to be toward advocacy. No. Okay, well that gets frustrating after a while.
It's extremely frustrating.
So,
but it is something that there's multiple organizations that are fighting right now. CRPA, FPC, multiple different organizations are actually coming together to fight this, because that is something that is just a complete overreach.
Right.
And if it starts here, it's going to spread everywhere else if they get away with it.
Right. So Assembly Bill 28, explain to our listeners, what exactly is that law now?
So it's basically an 11% excise tax on all guns, ammo, and precursor parts. So any of your guns, on top of your local city, state sales tax, you have an 11% excise tax on top of that. So now all your guns and your ammo. Currently, from our understanding is any active or retired law enforcement is exempt, but there is some paperwork that you do have to fill out. And reloading components are not included in that excise tax.
It isn't?
No, it is not.
Really?
So all your powder, primers, projectiles, all your reloading equipment is exempt from that.
Okay. So at LAX, what are they actually, well, I wouldn't say forcing you, but they're asking you to do for the tax? What are they asking you to do at the store?
So basically, your store price, when you're actually displaying a price, is your actual ammo price. So prices haven't increased as far as like, oh, we're just going to take the actual product, add 11% to that, that's what it is. No, it's actually a separate line item that's actually separated off. So box ammo is, $20.
Yes.
Now you're getting charged the 7.75% tax for Orange County city tax.
Okay.
And then an 11% excise tax. So it's a separate line item from your actual total.
So it's the state that's coming after the manufacturer or the store owner.
Correct.
They're not going after, and then you have to.
We pass the buck.
We pass it on to.
Yeah. So as we're collecting that 11% that we'd actually end up having to pay to the state.
Right.
But we're not increasing our price to actually include that 11%.
You're reducing your profit.
Correct. Well, not necessarily reducing the profit. It's basically just setting the price of the ammo.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're adding the excise tax
That,
on top
whatever
of
they're asking. Oh,
Correct.
my goodness. So I was reading the thing, and I'm a little confused with this stuff. It said 10% tax on pistols and revolvers, and then 11% tax on everything other than pistols and revolvers, and that includes components and parts and all this other stuff. So is that not true? Or
my understanding is obviously we're more in the ammo section of it.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
right.
we know that it's basically 11%.
Okay.
Without digging completely into it and reading, paragraph after paragraph, our initial response was any of the firearms, loaded components, and precursor parts. So precursor parts, I think there's a little bit of gray area. My understanding would be fire control units, low receivers for like AR-15 platforms.
Okay.
Flats for like AKs, Glock lower frames. That would be included like a precursor part from my understanding of
Okay. And this can include like bags and gear and holsters?
None of that is included in that tax. So basically you're on the standard tax. So it's basically only loaded ammunition that you could actually take to the range and fire.
Oh, thank God.
And firearms.
Okay, so your powders and primers.
Primers are not included in that tax. So it is a little bit of relief, but ultimately, is it terrible? Yes. Do we need to fight it? Yes.
Really getting nervous about that kind of stuff, right?
And on top of, powder storages possibly coming through, reloading components, starting to dip down. Cost of powder has gone through the roof. I know recently when I just bought a bunch of powder myself, I mean, it increased almost 120%.
Wow.
From last time I purchased powder, which is still a year or two ago, but I mean, in that kind of time frame, that's a very large increase.
Right. So this is just in the state of California.
Correct.
There's no other state that's trying this out.
No other state that's trying it yet. I think just like anything else, usually everything comes from New York or California and kind of works its way inward.
Right. And
so we need to really pay attention to this.
Oh, yeah. So they're actually coordinating, trying to stop this stuff, right? CRPA,
Yeah,
right?
CRPA. So they're basically going under the Second Amendment section of it, not pricing people out of being able to afford their Second Amendment rights from the Constitution.
Okay.
So that's the kind of the aspect they're going towards, from my understanding of it.
I'm really interested how they're, they're actually going after the manufacturers, right? And they're not necessarily going after the consumers, but indirectly.
I mean, indirectly, it is the consumer is actually paying the tax.
Yeah.
The retailer is just basically collecting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Making you do the dirty work.
Yeah. Right. Basically, they're getting their, the lion's share of all the profits and basically taking it and.
They're anticipating $160 million in revenue toward that fund of theirs, right? So
I mean, if you think about it, California is one of the largest largest gun communities there is, even though we're very restricted.
Oh yeah,
per
absolutely.
capita. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're rivaling most other states, and you know, you could shoot year round here, where a lot of states back east, you know, you might be snowed in for weeks on end or too cold.
Right.
So I mean, you could basically here locally for us.
Right.
I mean, you could pop up on Practice Score right now and probably find a match that's going to start in an hour.
Right.
You know, and find one later this afternoon, later tonight. You know, you could find a match just about anywhere. We could shoot year round.
Right. I mean, you just if Arizona was just cooler.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, parts of Arizona, yeah, but I mean, even then, those parts, you know, you still got the snow, and you know how many people are going to want to go shoot a match in the snow and all that. Where, yeah, we might get a little rain, a little sprinkle. It might be a little warm here and there sometimes, but ultimately, you know, you can push through it pretty easily.
Yeah, I just think that this is just totally ridiculous. What's going on, and
it is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm
and
very
that's why
frustrated.
we really need to pay attention to our gun laws. You know, and yeah, the shooting community is a whole.
Yeah.
And you know, out of all the gun owners in California, if we could actually turn this around if we really chose to.
Well, they were saying that there were a million gun sales per month.
Yeah.
Right. For the past, I don't know how 52 months or something, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
50, I mean, it's astronomical, the amount, and I think that's why the state of California is doing that, because they could see all these new gun owners. Obviously, when you have gun owners, you're going to need to feed it.
Right.
And I think that's the way to not necessarily limit the amount of guns, but the amount of people that are actually being able to purchase ammo and actually go shoot competitively, go have fun, you know, learn some new skill sets.
You know, it's strange. I mean, they have cars and tobacco and vaping and marijuana, medicinal marijuana. I'm sure they're paying their fair share as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean,
alcohol.
I mean, look at now the new proposed deal for hybrids or electric cars. You know, taxing per mile because you're not getting the gas tax anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very curious why they're doing it. They don't tell us, you know, they don't explain why.
It's a need to know basis, and we don't need to know, Paul.
Oh, apologize for that.
Yeah.
I could have swore I needed to know.
I thought I did too, but obviously we don't.
Okay.
We just get to pay the money, and you know,
it's above my pay grade, I guess. Yeah.
But unicorns and rainbows.
So what's upcoming? So Washington's coming up in a couple weeks. That's already sold out.
It's already sold
twice
out,
over, and you're not going.
I'm definitely not going.
So
have a fishing trip. You know, we have these trips basically planned through our family. We get 3 trips a year, and that just happens to be that one day that we book basically a year in advance. So
yeah.
Definitely won't be making that one, but I did sign up for Vegas.
Okay, all right. Oh well, that's good because that sold out in 2 hours.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, through the group text,
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, oh, do this real quick, and then I'm like, oh, try to squad. Oh no, not get to squad yet. So then I end up waiting, and by the time I saw it, I was already pre-squatted because it was already sold out. And I was like, oh, all right, well, looks like I'm shooting here.
I had a whole campaign set up for Chad, and. He goes, oh, by the way, it's sold out. And I'm like, you know, it's only been 2 hours. What do you want me to do all this footage and stuff? And he's like, I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I think that's going to be pretty crazy. They don't have a lot of stages because of the range is, I would have to, lack of a better word, still warming up to them. So things are, you know, definitely changing with the membership and so forth. So he's still working that out, but I'm sure that will be resolved pretty quickly.
Working out some of the kinks.
And
now,
then
I just basically signed up. How many stages and what's a basic breakdown on this?
So he added 7. He's pushing 8, but they're not allowing him the bays, is what it is. Right. So he has to be very critical.
Strategic.
Yes. Okay. Very strategic, very creative on how to build that. But I'm sure he'll figure that out. So and I think Fred Johnson's going to help out and make sure that the stages are where they're supposed to be.
Oh, like Fred needs a reason to go to Vegas.
Correctly. What's that?
Like Fred needs a reason to go to Vegas.
I think we all need a reason to go to Vegas, right?
Hey.
So October, right?
October 12th, 13th.
Yeah, that's prime time.
Yeah, it'll be starting to cool off.
Yeah,
out
it
there.
won't be that
It'll
hot,
nice.
right? The weather will be good, so we'll be out there. We'll just enjoy ourselves.
Little vacation weekend deal.
Gotta get us. The Airbnb. I'm still looking at that stuff, so I just wanted to make sure that we're all stable and everybody's signed up and where they're supposed to be before we start
actually doing it all. Get the party wagon all the way out there.
So that's doing well. Hey, let's get back to your what's in the black bag. So show us the new So this is your upcoming project.
So this is the upcoming project. Okay. It is the SIG KXG Legion 365. So
oh my gosh.
In this little package here, you actually have the ability to load 17 rounds on the non-California mags.
Right.
So it's very high capacity in a very small package.
So this is definitely not on the roster.
So this is definitely not on the roster.
Right. But you're very favorable and somebody loves you.
Yeah, someone loves me dearly.
Okay. You took the optic off.
I did take the optic off because I'm assuming that, to kind of see what division it fits in.
Okay.
Being that you did have the optic on, so we could actually get a true measurement of what this gun actually fits into, which I'm assuming CCP is going to fit very, very well. So doing a quick breakdown on the AXG Legion P365. Quick, simple breakdown. Throw the throwdown lever down, release your slide lever, slide comes off, depress your guide rod, and your barrel pops right out. As you can see, this particular model has a 3.1 inch barrel, just like the standard P365. As you can see, it's actually integrally comped as well into the slide. Quick reassemble, just drop your barrel right back in, drop your guide rod in, throw it right back onto your frame, lock slide back to the rear, throw your throwdown lever up. As you can see, which we kind of went over, we actually have an integral comp, so it's going to be nice, fast, flat shooting. Nice trigger. Everything else is exactly like the standard P365. Can't wait to start shooting this competitively. We'll bring you some updates, maybe some other antics that we're going to be doing with this particular firearm, maybe shooting multiple divisions and classes. So a quick, simple test fit on our CCP box. These nice little test box here, you can see this thing fits with plenty of room on the inside as well. So looking forward to shooting this guy, being at the range, and we'll keep you posted and keep you updated.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I think I might be liking this gun a lot.
You think?
I think.
You started shooting it and you're already, I'm in love with the thing.
I did shoot it once.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can, take that from you before you even get out that door.
I mean, you could try.
I know, you could try. So, you're saying that it models the P365.
Yeah, it is a 365. It's just a slightly larger frame, a little bit longer slide that's integrally comped.
So, how do you would have to actually get the frame?
You'd actually have to get the frame or something similar. There are some other manufacturers that could produce something pretty similar to that frame. That is an actual factory setup from SIG directly.
Okay. All right.
But could you mimic something and take your standard P365 fire control unit and build something very, very similar to this? Yes, absolutely. That's what's really nice about the 365 line is it's so modular.
Right.
So you could actually take your bug gun, instead of buying a whole nother firearm, you could actually take your FCU out, get a little bit larger frame and slide and run CCP.
It's pretty much that's it. That's all you keep is the trigger system.
Yeah, because that's the serialized part. So you could actually take and grab a all aluminum or steel or whatever you so choose frame.
Right.
Buy a little bit longer slide, take your same barrel out of your 365, guide rod and everything else, and actually run a setup similar to this.
So the first time I saw this, he brought it out and just let me hold it, and it was just so innate, right? It was so natural in my hands. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
As soon as I touched it, I was like, yep, it's mine.
And it's not that it stops here, right? It goes through the whole hand, right? I mean, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Pretty large hands, and I mean, it fits very, very well in my hand.
The way that a firearm should fit, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So, it is very natural, and I can't wait to actually shoot it more than a stage. Well, we took right out of the box and didn't zero nothing. Just
you dominated bugs, so why not? We'll start just moving our way up CCP.
Well, and then you did have the challenge of how many different divisions can you shoot with the same gun, which brings up
in the same day.
In the same day, I mean, we could actually put parts on off and do something really stupid.
Would you be up for something like that?
Really? You really have to ask that question like that? Would I be up to doing something?
So,
like, you don't even have to finish the sentence. It's automatically going to be yes.
We weren't even drinking at the time. And I sat there and I go, hey, you should probably try to shoot carry optics, right?
Yeah, we shoot carry optics.
Bug, CCP.
Well, bug wouldn't quite fit.
ESP.
I mean, you could definitely do ESP. You could take off the mag well, shoot SSP.
Right.
Put the optic back on, shoot carry optics, shoot CCP.
And you would the red dot itself would zero, you think?
We're gonna find out.
Okay. we have to do that just to do it, right?
Just because. Okay. I mean, I think it would be a great fun challenge too.
Okay. So look forward for that video. But a very special shout out to the subscribers that hit the super thanks button. This is your support. Busy at work. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you very much again. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Anthony Vega.
Please be safe, and we'll see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.